Good evening. This is Mike Smith, reaching out to the voter in Dyer County. I'm fortunate enough to be sitting beside candidate for sheriff Jim J.J. Joyner. As the election is 8 days away, felt like it was time that J.J. is able to talk a little bit about why he's running and what he's running for. And first of all, I know you're a busy man. I'm glad to sit down and talk to you.
I'm glad to be here, and I have been a little busy.
We'll get into some basic stuff first. Jim has got 39 years total experience in law enforcement. His first year served as a reserve deputy under Sheriff Robert Willard, hired in 1988 as a deputy, but the first year you spent as a reserve, did it for free.
That's right, did it for free.
What do you think has changed the most since you started in 1988 to present day?
There's so much that has changed. It's crazy sometimes. A lot of training and education for law enforcement has changed tremendously. Right now, and we're in a current political climate, law enforcement is perceived as the bad guys. Right. And I totally disagree with that. But for the most part, everyone supports good law enforcement.
Well, also been married for 12 years to Lori Maynard Joyner, who's the oldest daughter of former DPD investigator Frank Maynard, who was killed in the line of duty, unfortunately. Spent 31 years at the Dyersburg Police Department before retiring in 2021. What brought you back?
Well, when I retired, Sheriff Box recruited me to come and help him and go to work for him. And he did a pretty strong job of recruiting me.
Right.
So I did. And he wanted me to take care of the serious cases. And in the first year, I had 2 homicide cases.
Right. Yeah. Well, speaking of that's one of the things that unfortunate that we're known for a little bit here is unsolved cases. Whether it be unsolved murders or a missing person that we've not been able to find. How do you stand on where we're at with that today?
Well, my stance on that is this. These cases, and we get bad publicity because some of these cases stem from the city of Dyersburg, the city limits, and the Dyersburg Police Department works those cases. The cases that are worked by the sheriff's office are out in the county. What I would do differently, these cases have not been forgotten. These cases are constantly talked about among the investigators at the sheriff's office. What I would do differently and what I will change is we will be more in contact with the families of these victims.
Right.
And if there's any lead whatsoever, we'll follow it wherever it goes.
And that's whether you're making headway on a case or not, it's important to stay in touch with that family and let them know that they hadn't been forgotten.
Absolutely. Even if you call up someone and say, listen, I don't have anything new to tell you, but I'm still here. I'm still working on this case. I'll follow any lead, follow any evidence we can come up with. But I will say this, hearsay and rumors is not evidence. But I will ensure that we're in contact with families of these victims.
Well, and talk about hearsay and rumors. A lot of the scuttle surrounding the sheriff's race is there's a lot of people that believe that we need change in the sheriff's office. And they believe that a vote for Jim Joyner is an extension of the current administration. How do you feel about that?
Okay, let me go ahead and clarify this. Sheriff Box is leaving of his own accord. He's taking another job. He will have nothing to do with the sheriff's office. I will run the sheriff's office. I will make the decisions. It won't be him. It will be me, Jim Joyner.
If elected, JJ, how will your administration, how will it look different than what we have today?
Well, there will be different personnel in different positions. I'll also make some procedural changes. I've been there 4 years. I've seen things that need to be changed and things can be done differently, and I will do everything in my power to make every change to better the sheriff's office, to improve the service to the voter.
Is there something that sticks out right now to you that you feel like needs to be changed that you can talk about?
Well, right now, we are shorthanded. We are down a few deputies. We're having to fill in spots and we can't get full coverage. Right now, that's the priority, is getting this staff up to full staff.
Right.
That will cut down on overtime. That will cut down on fatigue on the officers who are having to work this overtime.
Right.
And I think that will make a difference.
Well, if you're able to add personnel and cut out some overtime, that'll also be a savings in the long run to the taxpayer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of taxpayer money, I've heard rumors that their money just blown by the sheriff's office. That's not true. And I will be on top of the budget. I will keep up with the money spent, and I'll be accountable to Dyer County voter.
The buck basically will stop at your desk.
That's exactly right, yes.
Talk about murders and unsolved murders and missing people. We've had an incident in the last couple of weeks at the jail where a young man was killed. Can you say anything about that investigation?
I can't give any specifics, but I will say this. Violent people are in jail. They are in every jail, in every prison in this country, excuse me, and around the world. They will commit violence against each other. When this incident occurred, we weren't 100% sure that that was what happened.
Right.
We worked everything as a homicide.
Right. Okay. I know you can't get too deep in the weeds about that because it's an ongoing investigation. Talk about early voting. Let's get into that a little bit. So far, the numbers are very positive as far as people getting out to vote. As of today, including today, we've had 58 to vote absentee, 3,005 to early vote for a total of 3,063 people with 2 or 3 days left to go. Does that say anything to you?
That tells me that voters are interested in this election. They're making an effort to come out, and I would encourage everybody, if you're a voter, if you're a registered voter in this county, come out and vote.
Well, that's something we go back to. Chuck Asa and I do the election coverage, and I know the last election we did, we were under 30%, and Chuck and I both agreed, I mean, for lack of a better word, that was terrible. And this time it seems to be a lot more interest, and we got county mayor, and we got sheriff, county court clerk. How do you feel? Do you feel that the more voting, more early voting is benefiting you?
I would hope it. I hope it is.
Yeah.
There's no way of knowing that for sure.
Right.
But I would encourage. I still encourage everybody. If you're a registered voter in this county and you want to have a say-so in who is put in these offices, come out and vote. It's very important. It's your right.
Talking about getting to the voter, how's this campaign going for you?
It's gone great. I got a great bunch backing me. They're steering me in the right direction. They're telling me where I need to go, who I need to talk to. They have been 1,000% the best I've ever seen.
Right.
I'm not going to mention any names right this minute, but it's been great. And I've had positive reception everywhere I've been. I've had nothing negative.
Right. Well, that's great. you know how Dyersburg can be,
I do.
and you just want people to tell you the truth.
Exactly.
Before we go any farther, I'll tell you a story real quick, and Jim is going to remember this. When I was a sports editor for the local paper, this was somewhere around 2010. I had some golf clubs stolen out of my vehicle, and I reported it to the Dyersburg Police Department. Back then, I used to write columns for every Saturday and Sunday edition. I put a picture. I just so happened to have a picture of my golf clubs, and I put that picture in the paper. Well, a local businessman ended up buying those clubs and ended up calling me and telling me that he did. And so I got my clubs back, but I was missing, and golfers will understand this, I was missing my putter, and I was missing some golf balls. Neither are cheap. And I got a call one day from Jim, and he said, I need you to come down to the police department. And I walked in, and it was him and Dan Wilson. And Jim said, any of that look familiar to you over there? And there lay my putter. And to me, that spoke volumes, because I knew he played golf. I knew Dan played golf. They knew that was a good putter. They didn't have to call me to come get that. Now, I did have a dozen Titleist Pro V1 golf balls, and there was a sleeve missing. I still hadn't got back, but we'll let that go. But that, I appreciate that. I really do. It meant the world to me. So that, I know you're honest, and I appreciate that. During this campaign, what has been the biggest thing that you've seen from the voter? What have they said to you as far as what they want to see change?
Basically, what they've said is they want to see transparency. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm an open book.
Right.
It will be open. Every year, the sheriff's office goes through an audit. Every dime is accounted for. It's on record. You go and look for it. And it will continue to be that way when I'm elected.
That's good. Like I said, the election is 8 days away. What are your plans for election day?
Well, we have got a watch party at Fern Valley. We've invited anybody who wants to come out and join us. We're going to have food, and just, it'll be a time for stress, celebration, and hopefully, and relaxation for a little bit.
Yeah. Are you going to be glad when this is either way, and I know you anticipate winning, are you going to be glad when all this is over?
I'll tell you, I've never run for office before. Never been in any kind of political campaign. I'm not a politician. This has been work.
Right.
But it's been worth it.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of good people, talked to a lot of people.
Right.
I wish I could have met every voter in this county, but it's just impossible.
Right. One of the last things that I really want to hit on, go back and, like I said, 31 years experience with the DPD, been at the Sheriff's Department the last 4 years. So you had retired and got out, and Sheriff Box was able to get you back in it. At what point in all of this did you say, you know what, I want to run for sheriff?
When Jeff Box told me he was not going to run, he was going to take a different job. I had been employed there for 4 years.
Right.
I had seen some things that need to be changed, and I've seen some things that I could do differently that will make a difference.
Right.
And I mean, when I retired from the police department, I made a little speech at the retirement reception. I said, when I first started in this work, I was going to save the world. Well, it didn't take long to figure out that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
So over the years, I've learned all any of us can do is make a difference. And I believe I still can make a difference.
That's good. That about wraps it up for me. I would like to give you the opportunity, if there's anything we hadn't covered in this interview, is there anything else that you would like to tell the voter in Dyer County that hasn't early voted yet, that's going to do what they do traditionally, which is go to the polls? Is there any kind of message you'd like to send to anybody?
There is. Like I said earlier, I have met a lot of great people, and I know there's a lot of great people in this county. This county always, in any kind of emergency or tragedy, we come together and we help each other. That's what people in Dyer County do. I would greatly appreciate your support, and your vote. And I will give you one promise, the only promise I've made. I will do the very best job I possibly can.
That is, that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. I will tell you, join Chuck Ace and I on election night coverage. We'll have the results, the early voting as the precincts come in. I look forward to a good night for Dyer County. And Jim, I sure do appreciate you taking the time to meet with me.